I'm tired. God, I'm so fucking tired. I am. I am so, like, beyond exhausted, bro. But either way, hello everyone. Did I desperately need a monster, bro. Like, it is a desperate need right now. I can't. Oh god, let me pull one out actually. Yeah, okay, let me pull one out. If anyone wants to redeem monster, they definitely can. Hello Donut, hello Alfie, hello Mary, welcome. Okay, I go grab monster, but don't leave me for 5 minutes, alright. Hello, hi. I am beyond tired, so even if I said the stream was gonna be ASMR as a joke, it's definitely going to be ASMR now because I am tired. I do not have energy to be high energy today. God, how is everyone's day? How's everyone's week been? It's Friday. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I didn't have university, but I had other places to be. God, it's so tiring because I didn't sleep well last night, and then I had to like be like at home and outside on and off. My social battery's gone, bro. Oh man, it's been busy. We can finally relax. And thank you, hello Cypher. Thank you for the pats and thank you for the lurker chicken. Welcome. Thank you for the pats. Ah, God knows I need them. Thank you. Anyways, so we are supposed to be reading a thing today. And I've been like, I was supposed to read this a long time ago, but things kept coming up on the days. And I'm pretty sure there was a running joke at one point where it was like the creepypasta streams are cursed because they keep fucking up. But and today the fuck up was hopefully that I was very late. I was like 20 minutes late. But hopefully nothing bad happened. Let's see. Now for those of you who don't know or like weren't there when I made the first announcement, and I'm sure a lot of people don't remember because I didn't either. Roughly, but we are getting through it. I'm glad you're getting through it. You know, that's what matters. But yeah, this like entire thing was suggested by Mari B, who was an acquaintance of mine. And it's called Has Anyone Heard of the Left Right Game? There is multiple parts to it as far as I can tell. It's gonna be a long one, I suppose. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, I'm not sure what this is about at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea what this is about. So I suppose we will see. It's on the no sleep r/no sleep Reddit. So if anyone's interested, they can like check it out there. For people on YouTube, I have linked it in the description if you're interested at all. Um, so it should take you to a subreddit. Does that work? Hope so. I think that'll do. Um, okay. So I suppose we should get started. I will turn off the music, just to give it a little bit more like, I don't know. Um, I typically would use creepy background music, but I don't have any. I can't find any that are like non-copyrighted, and I used to like just like find like basic creepy music on YouTube and play that on the background, but that kept getting me copyrighted, so I'm just not gonna try. Um, One of the favorite stories are No Sleep. Really now? Okay. I really don't know what this is about, so I suppose we will see. So, right off the bat, they say a few points before we start. Firstly, I am not the protagonist of this story. I just went to university with her, and though she went on to become a professional writer, I most certainly did not. She will be taking over from me further down, but until then, please forgive my slightly awkward delivery while I give you guys the necessary context. Secondly, I don't know what you will make of the following events, and I'm sure many of you might consider it all some sort of hoax. I was imprisoned for any of what transpired in Phoenix, Arizona, but I can vouch for the person who wrote the following logs. She is not, and has never been, a fantasist. Okay, so I once knew a girl called Alice Sharma. She was an undergrad at Edinburgh University, the same time I was. My educational poison was history, a degree which has greatly benefited my career as a bicycle repairman. Alice Sharma studied journalism, though perhaps studied isn't the word. It's not an exaggeration to say that she lived and breathed the subject. Editor in chief of the campus paper, recognizable voice of student radio, she was frustratingly tunnel visioned, and she was a journalist in her own right before anyone gave her a professional shot. We met in student halls and became friends almost immediately. A meandering waster trying to stay off his parents' farm, and an intrepid, ambitious reporter may not seem the most obvious pairing, but I learned not to question it. She was inspiring and smart, and she proofread all my essays. I'm not too sure what she saw in me. We were eventually flatmates down in London, where she chased her dream, and I chased my tail. She got a few jobs here and there, but nothing befitting of her skills. After months of fruitless internships and rejections, Alice called a flat meeting, telling us that she was moving to America, accepting a position chasing stories for National Public Radio. The job had come out of the blue, the result of a Hail Mary application she thought had been dismissed out of hand. We threw her a bittersweet going away party and put the room up for rent. That party was the last time I saw Alice Sharma. She dropped out of contact a few months after her departure. Complete radio silence. I assumed she was just busy, so I carried on with my small but happy life and waited for her to pop up on television with some important words below her name. Chief correspondent, senior analyst, something like that. The radio silence was broken last week, and for reasons you'll glean further down, I'm less happy about it than I would have thought. Arriving home from work, I found a lone email in my otherwise bare inbox. An email that would later be described as suspicious by my tech literate friends. Despite being born in the early 1990s, I didn't own a computer until uni, and I've missed several important lessons in the world of cyberspace. Lessons like don't call it cyberspace, of course, and more importantly, don't open emails with no text, no subject, and no sender's address. I realize most of you would have deleted this anonymous blank email immediately. My friends certainly would have. But beyond my basic ignorance about online safety, something further compelled me to open it. The only thing of substance in the entire message was a zip folder. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, Index. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid, JK. Hello. Also, hello, Raven. Hello, Briar Bright Soul. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the raid. How are you? How was stream? What did you guys do? If you don't know, I am Venom Cat. I'm your younger vampire cat girl. I often do, um, what do I do? I stream. I think, but I think that's obvious. I'm just in time. Welcome back, Donut. Thank you so much for the shout out. Um, Today we are reading this creepy story on r/no sleep called Has Anyone Heard of the Left Right Game? We just started. Stream wasn't too well, kept having tech issues and ended instead of fighting. Understandable. Thank you so much for the follow, Prior Bright. I am sorry for what I'm about to do. What? I'm scared, I think. But yes, hello, thank you so much for the raid and thank you for trusting me with your community. I am very tired today, so we're just doing some like reading and chilling out, I suppose. Nothing too chaotic, nothing too high energy. Um so if you're interested in like listening to creepy shit, please feel free to stay. And JK, if you need to like go for after stream care, please do. Take care of yourselves. 'Tis important. And I'm sorry stream didn't go too well. I'm out of water, bro. I was gonna start fucking sobbing. Drink some monster, baby girl. Oh, okay, thank you. I really needed monster, I'm not gonna lie. Oh man. I have it like wrapped up in everything. I haven't opened it. First monster redeem of the day. What do we have? Oh! Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's peach nectarine. Oh, I'm so happy, dude. Oh, it's one of my favorite flavors. One of my absolute favorite flavors. Thank you so much, JK, for blessing me with this joy in life of drinking Monster tonight. Because God knows I fucking need it. I'm gonna quickly like refill my cup. Yes, I pour the water out from the bottle into my cup because I prefer drinking from my cup because it's my Slytherin cup and it has a straw. I show up, you get your favorite flavor. I spoil you too much. You do. You really do. You're so nice. It's one of my favorite flavors. I sent her food pic to makers. I am not opening that. I am not opening that. Thank you. Hold on. Hold on. No, no. The pets. The pet. No. Please. On my head. Pet. Thank you. Head is so big. Yes, this will do. Thank you. God knows I need it. God knows I fucking need the pets. Get pet. Thank you. You're gonna look at our DMs eventually. I'm not gonna look at it. Holy fucking shit. Thank you, Reload Clips, for the pets. Thank you, JK, for the pets. Thank you, Mary, for the pets. Thank you, Briar, for the pets. A terrifying presence has entered the room. Balancing out the equation. Alright, buddy. Thank you, everyone. Dude, I have no reason to be this giggly. Get out. Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's going okay. We are reading some creepy shit. Bro. Bro, stop. Anyways, I'm gonna open the monster now. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so good. Oh. And orgasms. Sorry. Sorry. You people just came in. I shouldn't be saying this. I'm sorry. Um anyways, so as we were reading, oh, I love creepy shit. Let's go. Get happy pat pat. Is it that good, dog? It's peak. It's beyond peak. Hello. Hello, Reprisal.
Did you see the stuff?
Everyone say hi to Ven Mom. Everyone.
Hi.
Okay. Um, on my YouTube channel account. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. Left Right Game sounds spooky. I don't know what it's about. I really don't. Um, I'm just like, this was suggested by someone, so the petting won't stop. Oh, everyone's saying hi to you.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
The petting won't stop. So what are you reading? This is called the Left Right Game. Has anyone heard of it? This has multiple parts as far as I know. With the Left Right Game emoji. Oh, petting will never stop. This pad is for Ven. Okay. I've heard of it. This was suggested by someone a long time ago. But then the creepypasta streams that I do, like I do these almost. I'm supposed to be doing these almost every like Friday. I used to. This was routine until it got disrupted because of certain things. I'm trying to get back into it. But yeah, we do creepypasta Fridays, like creepy Fridays basically, where I read spooky stories on Fridays. Um So, and I do take suggestions. I do. They're all like usually dropped in the Discord server in case you are interested. Eh. So, but yeah, um, in case you're interested, you can drop those there, and I will do one every week. If it's particularly small though, I might do multiple in a day if all of them are like tiny ones. But yeah, typically I do one every week. I love this place already. I'm glad you do. Stop the petting. I anyways, um get fine. Fine, whatever. Um but yeah, the server is 18 plus, by the way. Like entry is currently only 18 plus. So keep that in mind if you're joining. Thank you so much for the bets, bro. I'm going insane. Anyways, I'm gonna continue reading. I realize most of you would have deleted this anonymous blank email. So far, the person writing this is talking about someone that they knew back in university, called Alice. And she's like this journalist. She's like really into journalism and shit. And then she got a job in America, and like this taking place in the UK, I think London, and then she moved to America because of a really good job she got. So and eventually they kind of lost contact, this person and the girl, like Alice, um, and they never like this person never tried to contact her back because he thought like, oh, she's probably busy, like it's a big ass fucking uh job and all that. Um, so never tried to contact her and all that. And they recently got like heard back from her, but they're not too happy about it, and that's what they're explaining. And here in this part, they talk about how they got like a blank email with like literally nothing. No text, no subject, no sender's address. This is taking place in like, I don't know, like this person is not too like, they're not too educated on these things basically. I realize most of you would have deleted this anonymous blank email immediately. My friend certainly would have, but beyond my basic ignorance about online safety, something further compelled me to open it. The only thing of substance in the entire message was a zipped folder labeled left right AS. I don't have to explain what I was hoping those final initials stood for. Opening the zipped folder, I found myself staring at a stack of text files, each one titled with a date, continuing sequentially from the very earliest file to any Americans in the room. This is the 7th of February. Yeah, 7 to. I was considering, like, is this like the way I do it or the way other people do it? 7th of February 2017. I've since read the files a few times and showed them to some friends. They don't know what to make of it either, but they certainly aren't as concerned as me. They think Alice is just a creative writing phase, and if I didn't know her, I'd have to agree. But the thing is, I do know her. Alice Sharma only cares about the truth, and if that's the case with these files, insane as it may sound, then it's very possible my friend has documented her own disappearance. The people who suggested this forum said you discuss strange occurrences, etc. If you guys have come across anything to do with the below or know anything of the people involved, then please send any information my way. Has anyone heard of the left right game? So this is our part 1. There's more. The Left Right Game Draft 1. This is on the 7th of February 2017. They say great stories happen to those who can tell them. Robert J. How the fuck do you say this name, dude? I'm thinking of how to like pronounce this. There's a few things coming to mind. Um Hi Tofu, welcome. Holy shit, Fire Esther. Yeah? Can I ask a question? Have you heard of Pen Pal? Just checking before I recommend it in Discord. I have not. I don't think I have heard of it, but I am down to read it. I have read a few that I had never heard of. I have read ones that I have heard of. This whole like series of like reading creepy shit started with like the absolute classic ones like Jeff the Killer. So no, I have not heard of that. However, I am down to read it. So feel free. There's a few other like suggestions before that were dropped a lot longer before now. Um so it really depends on my mood, I suppose, when I'm doing my stream schedule. But yeah, I will get to it eventually. That's what she uses to decide. What do you mean? You don't even know, bro. Hi, Laughing Stock. Welcome. Christian, that's what you should. Yes, yes. Okay, yes. I'm retarded. I'm sorry. Yes, that is what I use to decide what to read next. I am avoid literally check a film. No. I am avoiding using my straw to drink my monster because I know if I use my straw, I will chug this shit and then it will be over before I even know it. So, last time I sat with my monster, I used the straw, and for some reason, I don't know what magical influence the straw had on me. I just like chugged the whole thing, like in one sitting. Like I chugged it, which I typically don't do. Um, It was great though. I love it. Monster with a Straw is crazy to me. It was so yummy, dude. It was so yummy. I cannot like it. I don't know. For some reason, the straw enhanced the taste. That's my That's how I see it. Real straw makes me want to keep. Yes, exactly, and that's exactly why. The cup that I use to hydrate. The cup that I use to hydrate, it has a straw in it. It's like this green Slytherin cup. And it has a green straw poking out of it. And I often refill it, and I just like keep it right in front of me on my desk, so I keep hydrating all day. Magic. I don't know, it sounds insane, but I think that it does, dude. Ooh, Slytherin, yeah. Slytherin. But yeah. Questionable off-brand soda, bro. I think the best way to hydrate is like having a straw in it. You can read. Show up. Hello. Hello, I just got here with food ready. Hey, Red and Captives. Hello, Corn. We only just started the story. We are just about to start reading the actual like files. I got 2 straw cups. If I use them, my water is just gone. Yeah. Yeah. That happens. That happens. If I use the straws, I best way to hydrate is making the drink the water and kiss it. Ooh. Oh. Oh, mm, I, I see. I see what you're. I understand. I understand. I understand. I said what I said. I understand. One's a Scorpio themed cup and another is a Beetlejuice. Ooh. Man, I wish I could have V like kiss it into my mouth, honestly, bro. Join just a time. You did. Hi, awesome people. How are you, lovely folks? How are you doing? We're doing great. I feel like there's not a very efficient way to get someone to hydrate. You're just upset that you that you don't that. I am no one to speak, bro. I expect V to do it for me, and V is not even real. Anyways, anyways, continuing. These are the I suppose the whatchamacallit, files that the person received. The Left Right Game Draft 1, 7th February 2017. They say great stories happen to those who can tell them. Robert J. Gotthard, I'm not trying to pronounce that, is an exception to that rule. As I sit at his table, sip his coffee, and listen to him recount the past 65 years. It sounds like he's reading off a shopping list. Every event, his first job, his second wedding, his third divorce, none of them received more than 1 or 2 sentences. Rob plows through the years, the curt, dispassionate curator of his own personal history. Yet the story itself is so fascinating, so rich with moments and so wildly meandering that it somehow stands on its own merits. It's a great story no matter how you tell it. By the time Rob was 21, he'd gotten married, had a son, worked as a farmer, remover, a boat engineer, and grown estranged from his spouse. Here's him talking about that. Rob. Of course, my wife started to get dissatisfied. I was away a while. AS. For work? Rob, Vietnam. AS. You were in Vietnam? How was that for you? Rob. I ain't never been back since. That was everything he had to say concerning his first divorce and the entire Vietnam War. Rob had 4 marriages after that, even more professions. After the war, he worked with a firm of private detectives, got shot at once by the mob, and he became a courier, which is how a poor boy from Alabama got to see the world. Rob, I've been to most of the continents with that job. I've been to India. You from India? Yes, my mom and dad are from India, yeah. Rob, see, I could tell. He'd been arrested once in Singapore. After one of his packages had been found to be full of white powder, he spent 3 days locked up before someone got around to checking the substance. It was shock. A friend he made during his brief custody, Hiroji Sato, invited Rob to stay with him in Japan. Just getting over the breakup of his third marriage, Rob took the offer. He stayed in Japan for another 5 years. Rob, the Japanese are good people, good manners, but they got all these urban legends and ghost stories that Hiroji was crazy for. Spent all his free time chasing them down. Like, you heard of Jorogumo? Yes, I don't think so. I guess AS is Alice. Okay. Rob, well, she's the spider lady. Lives in the Joro Falls, round Izu. Meant to be real pretty, but real dangerous. Hiroji took us out there to get a picture of her. Did you ever did you ever meet Jorogumo? Nah, she didn't show. None of them did. I didn't believe at all until we went to Aokigahara. Aokigahara, affectionately titled the Suicide Forest, the next stop on Rob's adventure. It's an area of woodland at the base of Mount Fuji, a notorious hotspot for young people looking to take their own lives. Hiroji, Rob's ghost obsessed jailmate turned best friend, took him to Aokigahara to chase Yurei, the ghosts of the forest. Did you find anything in Aokigahara? Rob, well, I ain't gonna ask you to believe me, but I was a PI guess? Professional cynic. Even I can't deny there was a spirit in those woods. From that moment on, Rob's sentences started getting longer. A childlike excitement creeps into his voice. I get the distinct feeling we're moving beyond background, beyond Rob. I am not pronouncing this, bro. I keep like reading it in a weird way, and I'm like, white powder! Yeah, white powder. I'd hydrate you. Okay. Wanna test it? Damn. Finish that shit. Getting rid of being autistic on purpose. I was gonna say you and Bo should go into the wall and try it out. I'm trying to wingman not. Another contestant. The walls are spacey. If I'm gonna test it, there's a perfectly good cat girl right here who needs hydration. Did she have a stretch? I wasn't paying attention. Was there a stretch redeem? I don't think she did. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. There were so many redeems. I must have missed it. Okay, then you have a stretch when you read this. Spider lady, you say, keep talking. Spider, nah, I'm keeping the fire torch nearby. Spider, see too much for you. Do not say that. PL, not PI. Okay. I can't tell, man. This forced to read the worst Spider-See unprovoked. Never had a nice Spider-See before, donut. I have not, and I don't really feel odd for that. We can fix that. You would. What is going on, dude? I can't let that method sounds like the hydration version of bird feeding. I think it is. Looking back on the story is insane. Bro's comment reminds me of a TikTok of this guy that had a piercing on his Cupid's bow, so he removed it, replaced the gap with a metal straw, and held water to his mouth like you thirsty as a joke. I remember seeing a video of someone doing that with their septum piercing. Like there were two people in the video and one person like took off their fucking septum piercing and put a straw through it and then their partner drank from it. And type of banter where you just bounce on the previous sentence and go really weird places. Yeah. Oh, some it's Spidey. Not in this life. Please do not say Spider-See again. Thanks. I am not interested. Uh anyways. Right, there was a stretch redeem. Fuck, I don't I forgot. Yes, yes. Oh, oh, ow. Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry for skip over. Ah, thank you. Energy drink. Thank you for the energy drink. Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I'm gonna cry. Spidacy hits different. I'll just. Anyways, so piercing in the middle of the nose. I think was it septum piercing. Oh yeah. The middle, like in between, like your two nostrils, right? That part. There they do a piercing there. I'm sure you've seen women with like, or people in general with like a piercing like on their nose, like in the middle. Remember this one girl, the snake bites piercing, the dots beside the mouth, not the rings on the. Ooh, oh, so what Ren has, hot. And when she drank something without them on, a few drops would like come out via the gaps. Dang, and someone said you're like this multi-hole straw. Oh my god. Only Spider see I want this. Okay. Every time you do that voice, I get a Dutch wave. Dutch wave. Oh. um. I've wanted to get snake bite piercings before. Like I really want to get snake bite piercings, but like there's reasons why I'm not. But I've wanted to for a while. As we've gone somewhere with this bitch. I don't know where, but we are somewhere. Anyways, let me read. How distracting as hell. Okay. The one he wants to talk about. The one that led him to contact the show. Rob, I wanted to. It walked up to me through the trees, looked like static you see on a TV screen, but it had a human shape almost. Almost? It was missing an arm. It reached out to me, but I bolted out of that forest so fast. Hiroji never saw it, holds it against me to this day. Hiroji had good reason to be annoyed. Rob says that Mr. Sato had been going to the forest 2 to 3 times per year for 3 decades. To have a rookie come along and claim to have seen a Yurei on his first trip, I've been more than a little cranky. But Rob didn't stay a rookie for long. In fact, it was in those woods that I discovered his current passion, the supernatural, or more accurately, the documentation and investigation of urban legends. Legends like Bloody Mary, the Jersey Devil, Sasquatch. Rob has looked into them all. I figured it was. If one was true, then who knows how many others could be. How many have you proven so far? Since Aokigahara? None of them had any proof of him. Except for one. That's why I called you guys up. At this point, Rob can't hope to repress his smile. The Left Right game appeared on Paranormal Message Board on June 2016. Only a few people frequently visited the forum, and to these regulars, only Rob took an interest in the post. The whole thing had a level of detail you don't see in other stories. What details grabbed your interest? Logs. High quality pictures. The guy documented everything, said he wasn't going to play the game anymore. I think he wanted somebody to keep investigating. And you were that somebody. That's right. I set up about trying to verify his information right away. And how did it go? Well, it didn't take long to realize the left right game is the real thing. The rules of the left right game are simple. Get in your car and take a drive. Take a left, then the next possible road on the right, then the next possible left. Repeat the process ad infinitum until you wind up somewhere new. The rules are easy to understand, but Rob says they're not so easy to follow. There ain't all that many roads where you can turn left, right, and left and right and keep going. Most of the time you find yourself at a dead end or needing to turn the wrong direction. Phoenix is built on a grid system, so you can keep going left and right as long as you need to. Did you move to Phoenix for the left right game? That's right. I try not to seem incredulous. Selling your house in another state, packing up and moving your whole life to Phoenix, Arizona, just to play a game you saw on the internet. It seems like insanity. Rob smiles as he reads my expression. I can clearly read his expression too. You'll see, it says. Just wait. I wouldn't have to wait long. Included within the 9-page submission Rob sent our show was a long list of suggested items the chosen reporter should bring with them. Clothes for 3 days, a pocket knife, matches, and bandages. There were also a set of qualifications the reporter should have: the ability to drive, basic vehicle maintenance, and its human equivalent, first aid training. He didn't just want to talk about the left right game, he wanted to take one of us along. Rob leaves a short while later to embark on a few errands, prepping the run as he calls it. He shows me to the guest room and we part ways, on good terms but very much aware of the other's poorly veiled opinions. He knew I saw him as a charming, obsessive chasing after a fairy tale. He saw me as a naive cynic on the cusp of a new world. All I could think as I heard the front door close is that by tomorrow afternoon one of us would be right. More after this. When I wake up the next morning, Rob is in my room holding a tray which he'd knock on the bottom of to rouse me. I don't manage to record the start of our conversation. Rob, I got banana, strawberries, chocolate syrup. We got some more downstairs, but I wanted to wake you up to something good. We won't be eating this stuff on the road. Rob has made me waffles. He set them down on the nightstand and talks through the coming day as I eat. I'll admit it feels a little uncomfortable waking up in a stranger's home to find said stranger already standing over me, but I quickly move past it. I tell myself that he's an older man accustomed to living alone in his house, not usually having to think about boundaries. Anyway, he certainly knows his way around a waffle iron. We hit the road at 9. I wanted to give you time to get ready before everyone shows up. There are other people coming. We got a 5-car convoy on the road today. They'll be here in an hour. This is the first I've heard of a convoy, and to be honest, I'm surprised. The game is Rob's obsession, and I'm here at his request. The idea that anyone else would have an interest in today's drive is a little perplexing. Half an hour later, sated, showered, and dressed in the functional clothing Rob had so painstakingly outlined, I take my pack out to the porch. Rob's already there waiting for his associates to show up. I thought you'd be conducting a few more errands. If you ain't prepared by the morning off, you ain't prepared. Huh, okay, I guess that's fair. Oh, Rob, is the garage locked? The inside door won't budge and I wanted to mic up the car. Yeah, it's locked. I'll open it for you. Thank you. In fact, it's about time I wheeled her out. Fair warning, Miss Sharma, that she's a thing of beauty. To Rob, beauty took the form of a dark green Jeep Wrangler. Rob climbs in and lets it roll out of the garage where it dominates every inch of the driveway. Why did they word it like that? Same, I want them so, but I won't. This one first. When you made me crave Monster, now I'm going to the store and listening to. Aww. I'm not a fan of piercings, but I respect the people who do. Understandable. Look at the picker. Oh my god. What CCS thing did your brain lock onto? And you weren't paying attention. You know what? Why do I even bother? The car is large, 4 doors with a roof enclosing the entire compartment. It's also been modified extensively, yet another example of Rob's dedication to the game. What are you thinking? I think your 2 Caterpillar treads short of driving a tank. Yeah, I fixed her up good. I put the winch in, heavy duty tires. The light rig on top is LEDs. They'll make midnight look like noon, but they don't use hardly any power. Aren't Jeeps open top usually? Not all. This is the unlimited. I like to have a covered car when I head on the road. I climbed in and stole my pack. Rob had removed the back seats to afford more storage space. The place is packed to the brim, jerry cans of gasoline, barrels of water, rope, snacks, and his own neatly packed set of clothes. I wonder if the rest of our convoy would take the game so seriously. Rob, we got a polo coming up in 10 minutes. No one else has given me a time. I sent the schedule weeks ago. This always happens. His name's Apollo? That's his call sign. Apollo Creed, I think he said. Why are you using call signs? Did I not tell you? Oh, yeah. We're gonna use call signs on the road. Keep communication clear. What's your call sign? Ferryman. What's my call sign? I thought about it. I was thinking London. You're from London, right? I'm from Bristol. Bristol? That's fine, I guess. It's less than 10 minutes before Apollo turns the corner. Rob jumps out of his chair and paces briskly over the edge of his property as his first guest pulls up and steps into the sidewalk. Apollo vaguely resembles his namesake, dark skinned, tall, and noticeably well built, though it's clear he couldn't be less of a fighter. This Apollo Creed is all smiles and seems to have a penchant for laughing at his own jokes. How far have you come? I've come out of Chicago. Took 3 days hard driving. And you know Rob from the forums? Everybody knows Rob. Rob's the god. Rob walks over to Apollo's car, gesturing over to talk shop. Rob's clearly impressed with Apollo's choice of vehicle, a blue Range Rover, packed to the ceiling with kit. I was more impressed with Rob himself. Somehow, the 65-year-old farmer's son had become respected in a vast online community. My dad is Rob's age, and he has just discovered copy and paste. The rest don't take long to arrive. Two Minnesotan librarians, also around Rob's age, pull up in a gray Ford Focus. They're brother and sister. They've shared ghost hunting as a hobby their entire lives. I find it hard to suppress a smile when they meekly introduce themselves as Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde, we should have gotten here sooner. We had to drop by to get some blankets. Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Yes, pleasure to meet you too. Clyde, would you be the journalist? Yes, that's right. Clyde, you used to write for the town paper, didn't you? He's talking to his sister there. She nods. Clyde is clearly the spokesperson of the pair, yet they both seem incredibly shy. Whether they admire the famous outlaws or just the name, it's pretty clear they couldn't be more different from the real thing. Next to show up are Lilith and Eve, English lit students at New York University and proprietors of the YouTube channel Paranormicon. Unlike Bonnie and Clyde, Lilith and Eve have no issues holding a conversation as soon as they learn who I am and what I do for a living. They attempt to conscript me for an expedition to Roswell. Lilith, we have a friend there. She's been seeing some Eve. He's a seism. I'm, I'm retarded for. I'm too retarded for this. Okay, I'm too retarded for this. Oh, it's a she's a thing of beauty, isn't it? I know that header. Oh no, it's not a thing of beauty. I'll show you. God. No, dude, don't show me. No, 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 feeling romantical. I must keep my persona of silly and persona. Okay. So glad this community has no quotes. I'd be so fucked. We have multiple quote channels, but girl, I'm just lazy. We do. We do. We have 2 quote channels. Number one answer. Oh, what did he say? Shit. It's right under. Yes. Thank God I'm safe from both. I don't think he's gonna get through the whole group message for having a stroke. You ain't retarded, just challenged. Anyways, Lilith, yeah, and he's been recording readings over the years that show subterranean movement. Predictable movement. We're going to see him in July. but we could work it around if you're free. I'll have to check my schedule. Okay, cool. Let me give you my email. They quickly hurry off to film an intro for the latest video featuring a quick interview with Rob, who seems pretty welcoming of the attention. The last two cars arrive with a few seconds of each other. Within a few seconds of each other. A lithe, strong-willed older lady who goes by Blue Jay, and a younger man going by the call sign Ace. Blue Jay has arrived in a gray Ford Explorer. Ace, much to Rob's annoyance, has arrived in a Porsche. Did you think that's gonna help on the road? I didn't write that. It's my car. What am I meant to do? It's my car. You didn't read my itinerary. You got nothing packed in there. I did read it, sir, okay? Calm down. I have a bag. I won't ask you for anything. Well, I know that's true. Ace and Rob are off to a bad start. Ace takes a phone call, and despite my best efforts to get an interview with Blue Jay, she doesn't seem interested in talking to a journalist. With 5 cars and 7 travelers waiting for a green light, Rob hands out radios and charging packs, then launches into a quick safety briefing. Wear seatbelts, stay in position, communicate clearly and often. It's at this moment I start to feel a little dismay. I like Rob, and clearly so does everyone else. He convinced all of them to drive across the country to join in with this game. I start to worry what will happen in the likely event that the whole thing isn't real. Would Rob lose the respect of his peers? Would he accept failure when it comes? After seeing the effort he's put into these runs, the next few hours have the potential to be wildly uncomfortable. I need a sip of water. With a smile and a few encouraging words, Rob ends his briefing and beckons me over to the Wrangler. I clamber inside and make myself as comfortable as possible. You ready for this, Bristol? I'm ready. Okay, then let's hit the road. The Wrangler pulls out of the driveway and the convoy follows in order of arrival. Apollo, Bonnie and Clyde, Lilith and Eve, and Blue Jay and Ace keep a steady pace behind us as we come up to the first corner. Rob slowly and deliberately turns left, checking on the others in his rearview mirror. He looks back to the road as Ace's Porsche completes the first turn of the game. Shortly afterward, Apollo checks on the CB radio. This is Apollo for Ferryman. How many more to go, Rob? Rob, as many as it takes. I can tell Rob wanted to reserve the radio for something other than Apollo's quips, but he seems to like Apollo enough to let it slide. I'm not sure Ace would have received the same treatment. We take the next right, then another left. Now safely assured that everyone's following correctly, Rob speaks my thoughts aloud. Rob, you're wondering the same thing Apollo is. What do you mean? You're wondering how many turns we're gonna take before we hit some wall or something, before you find out this is all just a story. Does that disappoint you? I'd be disappointed if you weren't thinking something like it. But now we're on the road, I gotta say something and you gotta listen to it. Okay. We're coming to a tunnel soon. Any time before we reach it, you can get out, walk in any direction you like, and you won't be in the game no more. Once we go through, you gotta retrace the route we took and get yourself back out of that tunnel. That's when you're home. And you gotta convince someone to take you back in a car, 'cause I ain't ferrying you back 20 minutes in. You got till the tunnel to skip out on this. Understand? I understand, though I have to say I'm getting a little nervous. Ain't nothing wrong with a little nervous. We've taken 23 turns by this point. Already I feel like we're traversing the city pretty effectively. Rob's heavily modified Wrangler solicits a few impressed glances from passerbys, as well as several honks of respect from other Jeep drivers. Other than those few moments, everything seems completely indistinguishable from a regular morning drive. I even start to worry if there'll be anything at all for the story. Reporter takes drive with interesting man isn't exactly. Oh shit! No, no, no. Oh no, she is reading smut again. Hi, Forest. No, I'm not. Lovely challenge streamer. I love you, son. She's something alright. Whatever is wrong with her, I like it though. Bro, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Red flags, I love red. All red flags green when you're colorblind. But I am green. I'm I am already green. And yeah, I think JK is genuinely colorblind. During Abiotic, we showed him like a fucking red light and he thought it was green. Showed him a green light with he thought it was red. What? It's not, huh? Yeah, I thought we were reading something cool. I'm not. Are you sure? Oh yeah. See, Forrest remembers. This happened. This genuinely happened. For those of you who don't know, there was a good like few weeks where me, Forrest Dweller, JK, and a few other friends of mine, we all got together and played this game called Abiotic Factor. And there was a point where there was this lighting, and to every one of us it was red, but to JK it was green. Weeks over 3 months, if not more. Well, time ain't strong. Yeah, I don't understand time. Okay, I remember that you are J. mm. Bye bye, laughing stock. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a great weekend. Oh God. Turn 33 leads us onto a short, unassuming street. A row of small businesses in a quiet Phoenician, I guess, neighborhood. I don't know. I've never seen that word before. Liquor, second-hand clothing, tools, and at the end of the street, a little shop selling antique mirrors. 10 or so people shuffle along the sidewalk, smiling, talking, planning their weekends. The only lone person is a young woman in a gray coat. I briefly glimpse her at the end of the street, standing on our next corner, the back of her coat reflected in 50 old mirrors. Even from a distance, I can see that she's sullen, wide-eyed, and nervous. She shifts constantly on her feet, tugging at the button of her coat. I look away to write some notes as we roll down the street. When I look up again, the woman is standing by my window, staring right at me. She's smiling, a wide, unfaltering grin that seems almost offensive in its complete insincerity. Grey woman lambs at the gate, hoping for something better than clover, when all they find are things worse than slaughterhouse. Slaughter. I don't know. Rob, what's happening? Ignore her. He wanted to leave me, so I cut him out. The lake was hungry, it drank the wound clean. Let me read what she said again, because my brain was not. Hold on. Lambs at the gate, hoping for something better than clover, when all they find are things worse than slaughter. He wanted to leave me, so I cut him out. The lake was hungry, it drank the wound clean. Miss, are you alright? The smile vanishes. It snaps her from her face, and suddenly the woman is furious. Grey woman, what do you think you're doing? Have you gone mad? I reflexively press myself back in my chair as the woman, wild-eyed and gaunt, slams her fists against my window, with every intent of breaking through. Would you dance down the lion's tongue? It will shred you whore. It will shred you down to your sins, you fucking bastard. Damn. Rob puts his foot down and the wrangler rolls defiantly away from the woman. As we turn the corner, I watch her as she retches, her every movement cradled in abject hysteria. She yells despairingly at the rest of the convoy, bursting into tears when the last car passes by. As she shrinks into the rearview mirror, I see her turn into a larger turn to a larger mirror on the side of the shop, which the owner is in the process of polishing. I watch as she walks up to it and, with a convulsant scream, slams her head into the glass. The mirror cracks around her forehead. The owner jumps back in shock, and as the woman pulls her head from the mirror surface, the fractured spider's web is dripping red. It all happened in a split second, and she quickly swerves from my view as we take the next left. Rob, what was that? She's there sometimes. On the street. On the 34th turn. Who is she? I don't know. She's never acted out that much before. Must be a special trip. I find Rob's lack of concern a little unpleasant, and his implication that this woman's ravings were the symptom of an internet game leaves me more than a little perturbed. As I see it, there are a few explanations for what just happened, and none of them lead to a comforting conclusion. If we had just encountered a bona fide crazy person, then one could argue that Rob is just seeing what he wants to see. Maybe he'd bought into the game. Maybe he'd bought into the game story so much that every strange but explainable occurrence would be rationalized as the next step in his favorite paranormal narrative. Alternatively, the woman could be an actor. A more elaborate theory, sure, but not unheard of. People have lied on the show before, and Rob has Rob was receiving a ton of publicity for this attempt from Lilith, Eve, and I. I admit Rob didn't seem like a liar, but good liars never do. There is a third alternative, however. An alternative which, if you put logic aside, explains all the troubling little details that I couldn't help but notice. Because, as strange as the Grey Woman was, isn't it stranger that no one on the street would react? I couldn't recall a single glance in her direction by anybody on the sidewalk. Perhaps that theory falls apart when you consider the shock on the mirror seller's face, but when I think about it, he only reacted once the mirror shattered, and even then, I feel like his attention was on the mirror itself. The radio crackles. Lilith. Lilith to Bristol. Sarah. Eve got that on camera. Do you have audio? Yes, I think I picked her up. Lilith. My god, that was so weird. Can you send us the file when we stop? Can you ask Ferryman when we're stopping? When's our stopping point? Rob, for them in about 30 minutes. For you, well, you tell me. Rob turns off a busy street just before a large intersection, onto a much quieter stretch of two-lane road. Ahead of us, the road slopes downwards, leading into an underpass, which disappears into darkness. We'd arrived at the tunnel. What is this supposed to pass under? It ain't supposed to pass under anything. It's just there. And if we weren't playing the game, then it won't show. The question is, are you playing the game or not? Rob turns to me. This is the first time he's taken his eyes off the road since we started. He pulls the car to a slow stop at the mouth of the tunnel. You get out now, you can go wherever you want to go. But through there, you'll need a car to get yourself home, and like I said, mine ain't turning around for a long while. You understand? It's a dramatic statement, but unsettlingly, it doesn't feel like he's attempting to dramatize. It feels like I'm having something genuinely asked of me. Am I ready for what's to come? Do I accept the risks involved? Do I consent to be taken down this road and the next road and the next? Am I prepared to see this game through, real or otherwise, to its end? What are you waiting for? Rob smiles and turns back to the road. He picks up the CB radio, holds down the button on the side. The microphone crackles. This is ferryman to all cars. Anyone want to step out, then pull to the side now. Otherwise, stay in formation and have some supplies at hand. We got a long ways to go. Much like the game I'm so tentatively playing, my view of Robert J. whatever seems to change direction frequently. I'd heard about all his life, and I'm sure that I know him. I like the guy, but I'm not certain that I trust him. And though I admire his dedication to the left-right game, I'm not sure I like where it might lead us. Yet, as he takes us into the tunnel, his face vanishing and reappearing under the dim sodium lights, I can tell that he expects this trip to be a major step in his already impressive story. And this time, for better or for worse, I'm along for the ride. Holy shit, Arenas, this was part 1. That's part 1. Oh. Her strong suit is being a sweet. It's pretty good at pulling enemies over to pronounce it like. So you had a monster already. I don't know if you took a sip. Hello. Hello. No, I don't know why the redeems aren't showing up for me. Like, I genuinely don't know why they aren't showing up. But I have the chat open. No redeems are showing up. 9 more parts of this we are cooked, bro. Insanity, bro. Maybe if I open it in mod view it will, but otherwise nothing's there. Got something on your mind. Oh man. No. Oh, right, Donut. When you mark a redeem as done, it disappears from the chat, and I think that's why they're not showing up. If you mark it as done on the queue, it will disappear from chat, so I won't be able to look at it. So, I don't mark them as done until you do them. Really? I don't know why they won't show up for me. But anyways, that is our part 1. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm low-key scared. I only instantly mark the pet. Don't need you to do anything. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. I'm low-key scared, guys, because whenever someone says, oh, this was one of my favorites, it's usually terrible. And terrible in like the good way, like in the creepy way. Like gets me to shit myself type thing. Um this is our part 2. Thank you for the pets. Listen, oh, okay, I read that. Hi everyone. I got the day off work and I want to start by posting up the next log. I also wanted to thank you all for your responses so far. A few people have linked me to the sites that Rob may have operated on. Someone even offered to look for the mirror shop in Phoenix and try to retrace the route to Rob's neighborhood. I'm going to spend the day making a few international calls and sending emails out, but if you guys have any other ideas about how I could pursue this, I'd really appreciate them. In all honesty, I'm going to need all the help I can get. This whole ordeal has proven pretty categorically that I am no Alice Sharma. Speaking of which, I'm going to let her take it from here. Thanks again. The Left Right Game Draft 1, and this is on the 8th of February 2017. The next turn comes immediately after the tunnel. We'd been in the dimly lit passage for almost 2 minutes, but at the pace Rob likes to travel, it's hard to figure out how far we've actually gone. When we descended into the underpass, we were just nearing the outskirts of Phoenix. What? Okay. I didn't notice the full stop there. Scrutinizing the rear view mirror as we leave, it's fair to say we aren't that much farther out. Everything else, the temperature, the time of day, the weather, all seems exactly like it had been before we ventured into the tunnel. I'm not sure what I was expecting, of course, but it certainly doesn't feel like we're anywhere new. The tunnel itself had been similarly underwhelming, especially considering the importance Rob seemed to place on it. In fact, the only thing of true interest since we passed through was something Rob said once we hit the halfway mark. As the tunnel's mouth loomed towards us, Rob picked up the CB radio transceiver. and issued a casual warning to the convoy. The message itself was straightforward. His choice of words, however, was curious. I decided to ask him about it. Yes, Rob, just a second ago, when you told us the next turn was coming up, why did you use the word trap? Hmm? I have it in my notes. You said, folks, we're coming to the end soon. First little trap's coming up. Our next turn is sharp left as we leave. Look out for it. Is there a reason you use the word trap? Just one of those things. Fellow who wrote all the original logs, he liked to think the road would try and trick you into making a wrong turn. Small roads off large highways, roads obscured from view, sharp turns like this one. He thought the road was trying to deceive him. Yeah, pretty much. I gotta say, I agree with the guy. But at this point, we've taken the offending corner and the next right a little further on. I can't help but feel that Rob is reading a great deal into what is essentially an abrupt turn in an ordinary road. The level of conspiracy he is able to place behind such a simple thing, going as far as to ascribe some mischievous quality to the asphalt itself, it's hard to take seriously. In fact, I'm starting to wonder less about whether Rob can convince me this game is real, and more about whether I'd ever been able to convince him that it isn't. Perhaps the story will be less about where a magic roadway goes after a few zigzag turns, and more about where the human mind can go if it invests too heavily in an idea. To his credit, Rob had noted my cynicism. He even seems to welcome it. But if our current surroundings are supposed to convince me, then he's going to find me more cynical than he anticipated. Rob keeps his hands on the wheel and his eyes on the road. Any attempt at an interview receives a pleasant but curt response. He's not being evasive, his attention is just elsewhere. Before I know it, half an hour has already gone by without Rob speaking a word. It seems like a large part of the left-right game involves driving in complete silence. Once again, I'm not sure what I expected, but it's certainly not been an earth-shattering start. At least, it gives me time to type up my notes. Rob, ferryman to all cars. We stop here. An uneventful hour and a half passes since we left the tunnel. I didn't notice Rob pick up the receiver, but before I know it, the Wrangler has pulled up at the side of the road, leaving a large space behind us for the rest of the convoy to park up. The buildings are getting few and far between now. It won't be long until we were in the desert proper. With this in mind, I assume Rob is simply stopping to let everyone drink up. Probably shouldn't assume when it comes to Rob. Though this is definitely a rest stop, Rob also has some important words for the crew. He gathers us round in a rough semicircle, talking while we eat our provisions. Now, I mentioned in the emails that at certain points in this trip, you need to do some things just because I say so. This is one of those times. You'll understand? Yeah, I guess. We get to know what that is, right? This is when he tells us to give him our money, right, Rob? Yeah, I'd rather know what's going on. And I don't intend to keep anything from you. I just want to be clear that across this next stretch, you need to follow my orders to the letter. Yeah, we get it, just tell us already. Rob takes a few moments, perhaps to lend gravity to his point, perhaps to swallow some barbed words intended for the increasingly impatient Ace. When he does speak, it's in a measured and serious tone. He's clearly adamant that we take his words on board. For about half an hour, the next 13 turns will be going one by one. We travel in order of formation. Me and Bristol will go first, then I'll radio the next car to follow. When you reach the Jeep, you park behind me, then we keep going as normal. Now, Rob takes a deep breath in. When he starts up again, his speech is even more pointed than before. There's a hitchhiker on the road, a well-dressed man with a case. You pick him up, you take him where he needs to go. You do not, under any circumstances, talk to the man. To be safe, don't look at him. Don't take anything he offers you. Don't open the door for him or wave goodbye when he leaves. You do not acknowledge him in any way. You want my advice, don't say a word till you get to the stopping point. Lilith, why do we have to go one by one? Rob, the guy who wrote all the logs says he don't like choosing cars. I don't know what that means, but I'm lucky I never had to find out. Why don't we just not pick him up? That isn't an option. Well, I mean, yes it is. I don't see why we... God damn it, you pick him up, whether you want to or not. The group is silent. This is the first time Rob's raised his voice. In the ensuing stillness, Ace looks like he'd be more than happy to turn his car around and retrace the route back to Phoenix, leaving Rob in the dust with a few choice words. I can sympathize with him a little. Rob's been treating him as an annoyance, a tag-along who didn't do the homework. But at the end of the day, Ace is doing nothing to fix things. Also, Rob is essentially right. He didn't do the homework. Lonnie, well, okay, I suppose we should get back to the road then, if everyone's ready. Deciding he has nothing more to say to us, Rob marches over to the Wrangler. Bonnie, Clyde, Apollo, and Eve sit on the floor sharing snacks. Ace loses himself in his phone, and Blue Jay, still maintaining a noticeable distance from the group, takes to her car with a copy of the U.S. Weekly. Bristol, can we talk? I turn around to see Lilith, holding her cell phone with the screen facing me. Yeah, sure, what's up? Have you tried to make any calls since we came through the tunnel? No, not yet. Why? Could you try? I pull out my own cell and dialed into the office. The line's busy, which isn't exactly uncommon. Lilith watches intently, waiting for a reaction. I'm not getting through. They were busy? Yeah. Why? Everyone is. We have signal, we can make calls, but everyone on the other end is busy. Don't you think it could be just a coincidence? I really mean everyone, Bristol. While Eve's been driving, I've been calling. My camera's automated support line 911. You dialed 911. For science, yeah. All of them are busy. I even called this guy at my dorm who has a serious thing for me, and trust me, he is not fucking busy. This is weird, right? It's like we've crossed a threshold and the world suddenly doing something else, you know? In all honesty, I'm not sure I do know. I don't want to say it, but it seems like a massive stretch. Luckily, Rob saves me from commenting when he calls me over to the car, clearly eager to get back on the road. I tell Lilith we'll look into her discovery on the other side, and she nods in agreement, retreating to her friend and immediately stealing a handful of apple slices. I climb into the Wrangler and wave goodbye to the convoy. We slowly roll back onto the road and set off on our way, watching the rest of the group disappear into the background. I feel noticeably more isolated despite Rob's presence, or perhaps because of it. I'm not exactly sure. The hitchhiker shows up about 10 turns later. Just like Rob said, the man is incredibly well dressed, a well-fitting brown suit and a dark green tie. Even from a distance, I can see his shoes are expertly shined, as is the varnished wooden case resting on the floor beside him. He stands on the side of the road and raises his hands gingerly, wearing a look of hopeful anticipation. Who is he? The hitchhiker. Is that really all you're gonna say? It's all I can say. You understand the rules here? Don't talk to him. I'd say don't talk at all. Not until we stop. When we stop, we're safe. Rob veers slowly over to the side of the road. The hitchhiker smiles appreciatively, grasping his hands together and shaking them in thanks. Picking up his case, he strolls over to the Wrangler whilst unbuttoning his blazer. See you on the other side. The back door opens and the hitchhiker pulls himself into the storage area. Finding no seating, he settles himself cheerfully on some of the softer luggage just behind me. Hitchhiker, not much in the way of seating back here, huh? I have to admit, I do feel a subtle urge to respond, even after the stern warnings I received To ignore the man seems most instinctively rude. I was raised British, after all. So where are you all from? I'm traveling here from Oakwell. I glance at him in the rearview mirror. He meets my gaze and smiles. I flick my attention back to the road, counting the white lines. The stranger persists in trying to start a conversation. 10 minutes go by, the silence grows palpable, broken intermittently by yet another cheerful attempt at conversation. Topics include what nice weather we're having, our professions, our hobbies. In response, I busy myself with pointless but occupying tasks. I find myself playing games in my head, thinking of common phrases and making them into clunky anagrams. It seems to work, and after a short while, I start to habituate to the man's small talk. I almost don't notice that he's there. Maybe that's what allows him to catch me out. You're just a fucking disappointment, aren't you? The statement comes out of the blue. It's sharp, venomous, completely divorced from the idle questioning I'd been tuning out. I'm daydreaming when I hear it, and before I can register what I'm doing, I'm turning to face him. My lips are already parting as I go, a reflexive thought, reflexively vocalized. What? I almost say it out loud. The word is on the edge of my tongue, a single note my vocal cords were all but ready to play. Only the sudden, vice-like grip of Rob's hand on my forearm anchors me in the moment. I stare at the hitchhiker, my mouth still open. He's different now. All the warmth, all the pleasantry is drained from his face like running makeup. His smile is malevolent, calculating, and finally it feels honest. You want to know things? I can tell you. Rob keeps his eyes focused on the road, but his grip on my arm tightens. I can tell you everything you want to know, even the things you never knew about yourself, even the thoughts you didn't know you were thinking. Those little critters all the way at the back. We stare at each other a moment longer before I turn around and back on the road. I don't count the white lines anymore. Now I'm focused intently on anything our passenger has to say. For the next 10 minutes, ignoring him is going to have my full attention. He only tries a few more times, reverting back to the more innocent questioning. Nothing takes. 5 minutes later, he indicates to a seemingly random point at the side of the road, and Rob drops him off. The man thanks us, climbs neatly out, puts down his case, and waves as we depart. When we disappear around the next corner, he still hasn't stopped. Surprisingly, the silence caused by the hitchhiker's presence isn't nearly as intense as the one left in his wake. I decide to break the tension. Somewhat ungracefully. To be fair, we are having nice weather. Don't talk. Are you mad at me? I'm sorry he got to me. I wasn't expecting. You did fine. We don't talk till we stop. I'll go back to my notes, making a point to write down my current feelings. For the record, embarrassed but relieved. Once I put the words down on paper, however, I feel something else. Confusion mixed with concern, because at the end of the day, what was I relieved about? That I didn't talk to a strange man who tried to talk to me? Was anything really at stake? The more I think about it, the more I realize that the entire episode with this mysterious hitchhiker reduces the left-right game to two possible states. It's either real or it's an elaborate hoax, perpetrated by Rob. The crazy woman, the tunnel, the malicious left turn, all those could be explained as rationalizations. But the hitchhiker was far too elaborate, far too difficult to predict. If he was an actor, then Rob is nothing more than an impressive fraud. If he was genuine, then I'm not entirely sure where that leaves us. Something in the corner of my eye pulls me from my thoughts. A transient peripheral object that almost completely passes me by before I turn in a weak attempt to catch it. I only get a few seconds to look at it before it's gone from my field of view. I face forward once more, sit back in my chair, and let Rob carry us even further down the road. It's not too long before we finally pull over. You did good. I'm sorry for grabbing you. I just didn't want you to do something you'd regret. No, it's fine. I was going to. Do you know what happens if you talk to him? Not sure. Came close myself once, a few years back. The way he looks at you when he thinks he's got you, I don't think I want to know. Rob, I saw something a few minutes ago. I don't know if you've noticed it. Afraid I had my eyes forward most of the time. There was a car on the side of the road. It had crashed off the bank. Have you seen that before? I ain't never seen that. But random stuff sometimes shows up here and there. Have people other than you run the left right game? No one I know of. Whoever it was, they'd probably just rather crash than face the damn hitchhiker again. He's there on the way back, too. If you're unlucky. Well, something to look forward to. Rob picks up the CB radio and messages for Apollo to set off, repeating his warnings concerning the hitchhiker. I feel like everyone's going to get a similar speech before they embark. Ace will probably get it twice. Half an hour later, Apollo shows up. Though he laughs about the ordeal, he's clearly a little shaken. Apollo, guy should call himself an Uber. You can't shut those guys up. Do you guys have Uber in England? Yeah. Then you know what I mean, right? Bonnie and Clyde arrive quicker than Apollo. They pull up at the back. Clyde helps Bonnie out of the car and they proceed to stretch their legs. Once Apollo joins them, it's clear that everyone had a different story to tell. The hitchhiker offered Clyde travel suites, pleasantly but firmly insisting he take one. Apollo almost got talking about his music tastes after the hitchhiker asked to play something on the radio. That particular story does leave me curious about whether we still get NPR on this road. Rob customarily greets Bonnie and Clyde, then walks up to signal Eve and Lilith. He's still sitting in the Jeep when I meet him at the door. Hey, what are you up to? Just waiting by the phone. The girls are on their way. You need anything? Maybe. I think Bo's been affected by the whole hitchhiker thing a bit more than he's letting on. He seems just fine to me. I'm not so sure. He's only smiling when people are nearby. Could you talk to him? Well, I ain't much comfort. I got 4 ex-wives to tell me that. Think it might be better coming from you? I think it's a man-to-man conversation. I might just get a brave face. Rob doesn't look comfortable, but he... Equate... I wish I could read. Climbing out of the car. The last man-to-man conversation I had, my son didn't talk to me for 3 months. I watch him wander over to Apollo, who's standing by his Range Rover, staring into his phone. Rob puts a calming hand on the man's shoulder. From a distance, it's actually a sweet moment. I start to feel bad for lying to him. I carefully open the driver's side door and climb into the Wrangler, assuming I have around 20 seconds before Rob comes back. Picking up the CB radio receiver, I stare at the list of presets, labeled 1 through 9. I don't know which button to press. I don't know which button I press to talk to Eve and Lilith, and I certainly don't have time to call everyone up. Rob handed us all a transceiver before we left. It's what he's been making the all-car bulletins with. Preset 1 puts him in touch with the transceiver in each car. I've seen that in practice enough times. The rest of the presets must access the transceivers individually, and if Rob is the man I think he is, he gave us our radios out in order of position. If that's the case, then either Rob or I could be preset 2. Apollo could be next, then Bonnie and Clyde. Without knowing where Rob has placed himself in the queue, I only The only option which would guarantee me getting through to Lilith and Eve would be preset 7. I think that makes sense. You know, the more I read, the worse I get at reading. Something's wrong. Hi, Winter. Welcome. Be here all night. How long is this? Yo, how far are we? I'm guessing I missed a lot. This is part 2 of 10. Oh, legit. How much then? So I can chill for a bit. Oh, dude. 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 I need a late night. I'm gonna be real, I've been half paying attention, but don't tell her that she will get upset. Good evening. You know, Donut, it's okay if I'm not, like, interesting to you. Like, it's fine. I'm not upset. Just tell me. Most interesting person I know. Bro is lying to my face, dude. Lying. Lying through his teeth to my face. Do you not feel bad? Do you not feel shame? Crossing the line, right? I could even send you food pics. I don't know, man. I feel like you don't give a fuck. Really, truly. You're just, I don't know. It hurts. Kind of hurts. Knowing that you all along had ulterior motives. That you don't even care about what I'm doing or what I'm like, what like all of like what I'm streaming and all that. You're just around, just water. Thank you so much for the water. I have taken a sip of water and thank you for the pot. But yeah, Donut, how could you? I give a lot of fucks. No, you don't, bro. You're a virgin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta say, we'll lurk for a bit. Alrighty, that's fine. Hello, dead man. Welcome. The horror. The horror of being exposed, bro. No, man. Anyways, Winter. You wound the internet cat girl. How do you know that? I don't know, you give the vibe. Yeah, you did wound the internet cat girl. I can't believe you. But yes, Winter, for a what should we call it? Recap of sorts. So far, this is recalling the whole. This is following the story of a woman named Alice, and she is a journalist. Now, she had gone to cover the story of a man named Rob, who seemed to be really interested in this game called the left right game. Essentially what it is basically you get in a car and you go down the down the road, you drive down the road and you just take the turns as they come. Like left, you gotta go left, then right, left, then right, left. You just keep taking turns. And apparently, the perfect place to do this is Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, because of how the map is structured and the roads are structured. Now, there's like a set of gear and all that. There's like so much that this Rob person he got like a bunch of other people to join them too. So and it's like one of those like paranormal games, right? This Rob dude, he was a cynic at one point, but he saw a ghost in like the what was the place called? Aokigahara, I guess. You know that forest, foot of Mount Fuji, that forest. He saw a Yurei there, and ever since then he started believing in like the paranormal, and he got interested in this left right game. This is basically Alice documenting what happened while she was with him and with everyone else. They went initially, it didn't seem too different. Like, it didn't seem that amazing. It just seemed like driving around like Phoenix, right? But there was this one point where around, I think it's the 34th or 33rd turn, an old woman started acting like crazy. Like she banged her head against like a nearby mirror, and all that. And they got that all in like tape and everything. But what was weird about that incident was that nobody on that street seemed to be bothered. Like nobody looked over, nobody went up to her. It was a freaky thing, right? Then Rob talks about a tunnel, and he gives this tunnel a lot of importance, telling Alice like, "Hey, if you want to step out and you want to leave the game, you can do that before the tunnel because after the tunnel there's no going back. Like I'm not turning my car back." And the our main character, she's like, "No, I'll stay. I'll keep going." Now, all of these other characters, AS is our main character, Alice, and then there's Rob. Everyone else that you see are like other characters, other people who joined them on this. Now, after they go through the tunnel, some of the other characters, like Lilith, she and all of these are like not their real names. They go by like what was it called? So some things like basically like code names almost. It seems like um now Lilith, one of the people joining them, talks to Alice and tells her that hey, um ever since we crossed that tunnel, no matter who we call, everyone is busy. Everyone, even 911. So certainly this is like what the hell? Like there's signal, there's everything, but everyone's busy. So she's like, what the hell? What the hell? Then there was the hitchhiker. Like there are these quote unquote traps, as Rob calls them. Um, like for example, the way the road is structured, or the map having like secret or hidden roads that will make them miss a turn. Um, the tunnel, the ride through the tunnel wasn't particularly interesting, as Alice put it, but somehow ever since crossing the tunnel, it was like shit's getting weird. Now, this hitchhiker, apparently, this hitchhiker will like be there. You have to give him a ride. You cannot skip past it. You have to give this guy a ride, and you cannot talk to him. You cannot look at him. Nothing. Like you literally do not like act like he's not there. You just gotta act like he's on there. Just do not say a word to him. Do not accept anything he's offering. Nothing. And just go about as you are, and drop him off wherever he wants to get dropped off, and that's when you'll be like safe, quote unquote, as Rob puts it. And we still don't know what happens if you end up talking to this hitchhiker dude. But yeah. And they were all going, there's like 5 cars going one after the other, right? Rob specifically tells them for the next 13 turns, we'll go one by one. this guy does not like choosing cars. So, yeah, spooky. Like, so far, that's what's been going on. Okay, cool, spooky. Yes, basically. Um, now we continue. And so, like, Alice is trying to find shit out now. This is Bristol to Lilith and Eve. Are you guys there? The receiver crackles quietly. I look in the wing mirror and see Rob making awkward small talk with Apollo. Perhaps his 4 ex-wives were onto something. Lilith to Bristol. How is it on the other side? We haven't seen a hitchhiker. Oh, by the way, I just phoned Eve and it went through. Could I have your number to test? Sorry, Lilith, I'm phoning about something else. Why? What's going on over there? Apollo's nodding to Rob. I can imagine him making reassurances that he's perfectly fine. I really don't have long at all. I have a mission for you, but you have to keep it a secret. Sounds awesome. What's up? Once you're past the hitchhiker, there's a crashed car on the road on the passenger side. Whilst you're going past it, would you mind getting some footage? What sort of footage? Just zoom in and get as much detail as possible. You don't need to stop, just anything will be useful. Rob starts walking back to the car. I shift into the passenger seat, still holding the receiver. Is there anything specific you? Talk to me later, not now. Thank you, bye. I slam the receiver onto his holster. A moment before Rob opens the door, he shrugs at me. He seems fine, unless there's something he ain't telling me. The rest of the day is fairly uneventful. Lilith and Eve pull in, beaming about their experience with the hitchhiker and bragging about what the dashcam footage would mean for their channel. Lilith ends her story by insisting that nothing else happened for the rest of her journey, whilst directing a highly intentional look in my direction. I look away and make a mental note to catch up with her when less people are around. Blue Jay seems the least phased by her run in the hitchhiker. We do manage to get a few words out of her, though perhaps a few is an exaggeration. I'm tired. After which she goes to sit down on her own. When Ace pulls up to the side of the road, he almost falls out of his car. His legs are weak, his face gaunt, his breath quick and shallow. I try to get him to talk about it on tape, but he shrugs me off, eager to hear about where we're going rather than talk about where we've been. We travel for a while longer, now at around 486 turns, and nearing our first night on the road. Rob signals our stopping point, a quiet clearing at the top of a hill. Rob clears a sleeping area in the back of the Wrangler, leaving a line of luggage as a barrier between us. I appreciate the thought, but I don't really know how to tell him. In the end, I just say, thanks for making room. Apollo attempts to keep everyone from going to bed, issuing vague statements about making a fire, but people quickly shuffle off to their cars. The early start, the subsequent events of the day have taken their toll. I watch Lilith and Eve break away from the group and head to bed. I suppose I'll have to talk to them tomorrow morning when Rob isn't around. I still feel a little bit bad for lying to him, and for pulling Lilith and Eve into what could be a blatant act of dumb paranoia. Rob seems like a good man, a reasonable man, as flawed as any of us, but fundamentally decent. But the fact remains that when I talked to him about the crashed car, he clearly said, Rob voiceover, this is no one I know of. Whoever it was, they'd probably just rather crash than face that damn hitchhiker again. I want to trust Rob. I want to believe him when he says he didn't see the car. That he'd never seen a car on that stretch of road. But for a man of so few words, he might have said too much. If he truly never saw the car, how did he know the direction it was facing? I make oh, I make all of my notes concerning the subject on paper and in shorthand, which I'm hoping, in Rob's long and varied life, he has inexplicably learned to read. Long after Rob's gone to bed, I stay in the passenger seat typing up my thoughts on the day. Chuck. That was Sister Moon by Leslie Estrada, another song to calm you folks down as we head into the evening. It's Chuck Greenwald, and I'm with you till the witching hour. I decided to put the radio on in the end. I was curious, and I also wanted the company. I turned the volume way down so the noise wouldn't reach Rob, and I searched around for something to have in the background. There aren't many stations to choose from out here. The clearest one is Radio Jubilation, the local station for a nearby town. The current DJ, Chuck Greenwald, has been playing soulful folk music for an hour. Chuck, it's been a busy week in Jubilation as we welcome in our new school principal, a very impressive guy who's bringing some new and interesting proposals to our community. We got a few people talking about funding for the arts. If you got a viewer, if you got a view, we'd love to hear it. I finished typing up my less clandestine notes and just then realized how tired I am. Wanting to sleep, but not yet prepared to move the single yard between me and the air mattress. I lie back in my seat listening to Miss Greenwald address his beloved town. Chuck, we're still going to go back to your requests very soon, and I can tell you've got some goodies in the way. For now, let's take ourselves to the new box. So there's some like grammar errors here and there, and I sometimes I'll read them and I don't feel like I'm going insane. So you have both of those, water and stretch. I see those. Yes, I can see them now. Thanks for the catch up. Cat grows and letting me make it up to. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. My back did a snap. Water and the stretch. You have both of those. Thank you. I have taken water and done a stretch. Good job, thank you. Oh, okay. I need to start actively sipping on my monster, because holy fuckeroni. We're going to go back to your request very soon, and I can tell you that we've got some goodies on the way. For now, though, let's take ourselves to the new box. They're going to hurt now. Immediately at the volume of a whisper, Radio Jubilation begins to broadcast a cacophony of bone-rending screams. The noise shreds the air that sounds like hundreds of people, each contributing their own voice to a collective symphony of pain and torment. I instinctively move my body away from the radio, suddenly upright and awake. What the hell? One moment, guys. Oh. Okay. My phone died. Okay. I instinctively move my body away from the radio, suddenly upright and wide awake. The cries are ceaseless, agonizing, punctuated only by a half-stifled, tear-choked pleas for whatever is happening to stop. A moment later it does, or at the very least the screaming cuts out as the soft tones of Chuck Greenwald take over. I look from the radio over to the sleeping figure of Rob. I can't help but stare at him as a single thought runs through my head. I hope this man's I hope this man's a fraud. I hope he's playing me, because if he isn't, then there's something very wrong with this road. Chuck, hope you folks enjoyed that. We're going to bring you much, much more. This is Chuck Greenwald telling you you're always welcome in Jubilation. Stay with us. Oh yeah, I mean this comment makes sense. Wait. This comment. Just a rough guess, I'm sure though, that she said, "Did you see the car on the other side of the road?" So of course it's most likely facing the other way. I could be mistaken. I mean, yeah. If it's on the other side of the road, uh, technically, right? Like that means that what? What? Oh. Why was it like that, bro? I got worried. I was like, is this like gonna be a prank? The tone of the good job is the same as I'm talking to again. Shut up. I'm gonna let this say summer vibes. Like audiobooks are a great idea for her. You think so? Thank you. How much did I know? But I fear her voice is too relaxing. Please remind me once. I'm glad you guys are enjoying. That was the whole point, honestly. At this point, creepy Fridays are just like relaxing, spooky audiobooks. But anyways, this is part 3. Hello again, guys. I finally got around to posting the next vlog. I would have to put this up sooner, but unfortunately, I've had bikes to repair, and if I don't do it, the customers might go online and discover it's not actually that hard. I want to thank you again for the help you've given me in finding Alice. The guy who said he'd tracked down the mirror shop is giving me regular updates on his progress, and I've received a whole lot of help going through American missing persons reports. It turns out Alice's work haven't heard from her either, and they're going through their emails for Rob's submission to the show. Everyone's been really helpful, so thank you. I've got to say, I'm sleeping worse since this whole thing began. It's strange to think that all the time Alice was out of contact, I was perfectly content. Yet now that she's gotten back in touch, every day I don't hear from her makes me that much more worried. That's assuming, of course, that it was her who sent the email. I really hope it was. Thanks again, everyone, and please let me know if you find anything. The Left Right Game, Draft 1, 9th February 2017. Rice, non-perishable. Soy sauce, non-perishable. Salt, non-perishable. Eggs, well, they're perishable, but I bought them fresh, and I got hard boiled that'll last a week. It's breakfast time, the start of our first full day on the road. Rob's been up since 7 o'clock cooking a meal for anyone who wants it. The aroma pulls us out of our makeshift beds and arranges us around his portable stove. Our bowls are already full before we realize there's a catch. The trade-off for this supposedly free food? A 10-minute lecture from Rob about the power of rice. See, in the Pacific, our guys used to be terrified of the Japanese. Whole armies marching on grains. Thought they were super soldiers. See, the Japs know the secret. You give people rice in the morning and they're going for the whole day. After dropping 2 large spoonfuls of his favorite staple into a bowl and handing it to me, Rob breaks a raw egg over the top. The yolk clouds over as I stir it in. To be fair, the food is delicious, and it's fun to watch Rob on his soapbox. At least there's some things he's willing to talk at length about. I stare across the circle at Lilith and Eve. The latter has spilt rice onto her top, and her friend is teasing her playfully. Eve sees me looking over, meets my gaze, and turns back to Lilith, her tone dramatically muted. I turn to my food, making a point to seem attentive to Rob's speech. A minute later, the two girls decide they've finished their meal, and I quickly realize so have I. Devouring the last few bites, I place my bowl in the small tub of hot water next to the stove and casually wander over to their car. Lilith and Eve are facing away from me, silently packing up their sleeping bags. They refuse to look at me once I reach them in a deep, conspicuous attempt at subtlety. Is he watching? I glance over at Rob. He's still talking at Bonnie, Clyde, and Apollo, asking them to guess what breakfast translates in Japanese. I think we're fine. So, did you see the car? Without answering, Eve reaches to the back seat and picks up a MacBook, the repository of all of Paranormicon's footage. She presses play as Lilith and I huddle around her, blocking the view of any potential onlookers. The footage depicts a similar road. Lilith and Eve must have dropped off the hitchhiker and just made the next corner. I can hear them talking about the experience, both terrified and thrilled at the events of the day. Eve reminds Lilith that they need to look out for the car. Lilith swears, and the camera immediately starts scouring the roadside. Eve, Vio, look, there it is. I see it. Slow down, slow down. The abandoned car comes to view, with Eve slowing to a crawl, and Lilith maxing out her camera's zoom function. A precious few details can be summarily gleaned. The car's windscreen and driver's side window are broken. The keys are still in the ignition, and once Eve overtakes the wreck, it's just possible to make out a dark stain soaked into the driver's seat. Lilith, Vio, stop the car. Just as video Eve starts to slow down to a halt, the real Lilith shuts the laptop. I glance between them, trying to keep my voice as low as possible. You stopped the car? I mean, yeah. You know you told us not to, but it was like really weird, so I went over and you got out of the car? For the record, I was super against it. Anyway, there wasn't much in there that we didn't get from the road, except there was a bag on the back seat. Did you get a look inside? Lilith, yeah. Do you wanna? Lilith nods her head towards the back of their car. It takes me a second to realize what she's getting at. It's in the boot? It's in the what? It's in the trunk? Yeah, obviously. We can leave it there. Look, you can watch the rest of the footage anytime. We'll even send it to you, but you need to look in this bag before we hit the road. I check on Rob once more. He's washing up the bowls and cutlery, exchanging small talk with Bonnie, obviously, well, to what's transpiring a mere 5 meters away. Oblivious to what's transpiring a mere 5 meters away. Lilith and Eve escort me to the trunk, reforming our secretive huddle before Eve lifts it open. A brown leather duffel bag sits in front and center. It looks expensive but worn, probably a few decades old. The pair gesture for me to unzip it. Just to preface this, I want to say this whole trip has been fucking weird. The bag isn't exactly full. I rummaged through the loose contents, finding a few sets of good quality men's shirts and a pair of jeans. Further down, I find a small and well-used shaving kit. I'm starting to wonder what Lilith and Eve are so bent out of shape over when my hand hits the hard edge of a straight rectangular object, and slowly, with great care, I've managed to extricate it from layers of wool and denim. It's a package. A heavy square block of about the length of my forearm, neatly wrapped in brown paper. It seems completely unassuming except for a black wire hanging from the underside, leading back to the bag itself. Lifting the wire, a black plug rises out and swings slightly in midair. What's it gonna be? Turn it around. Well, with both girls watching me intently, I turn the package in my hands. The wire connects to the charging port of an old Nokia 3210, which in turn is super glued to the package, along with a few shards of exposed circuit board. Last but certainly not least are the words emblazoned on the brown paper in imposing black typeface. C4 explosive. Oh man, stop just carrying an explosive with you. Hello? Ice cream obtained. Good job. What flavor is it? Bro, put the explosive down, bro. Please, bro. My mouth feels dry. I wasn't expecting that. I know, fuck the throat, right? And there was tons more in his trunk too. It was insane. Is this dangerous? Not right now. It's basically inert unless you have the detonator. You're sure? We have Wikipedia downloaded on a hard drive. Is the only reason Eve let me bring it here. She read the article like 3 times. Anyway, the Nokia's out of battery. Okay, well, I'm not even going to ask how you know that. I don't get this. Why would someone bring plastic explosive for the left-right game? I mean, what the hell are we heading into? I have no idea. Do you know if Rob has any? If I have any what? Oh, fuck. When I look up, Rob's only a few steps away from us. I hide the C4 behind my back, dropping it into the satchel next to my notebook. I just managed to pull my fingers out of the way as Eve instantly slams the trunk shut. Tips for sleeping in cars. These guys had a rough night. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Just something you gotta get used to, I guess. We're hitting the road in 15-20 minutes. That alright with you guys? Yeah, totally. Bristol, you mind helping me pack up? Not at all. Painfully aware of what's hanging at my side, I step away with Rod towards the now dismantled stove. Looking over my shoulder, I see Lilith and Eve are watching us go, their faces awash with apprehension. I can't say I feel the same. Despite my surroundings, the multitude of unsettling events, I don't have space in my head for apprehension just now. All anxiety is slowly being pushed out, its territory annexed by a bolstering sense of resolve. There are far too many strange things happening on this road, and even if it kills me, I'm going to find out what they all mean. Ace, Rob, can I talk to you? We've packed everything in the back of the Wrangler and are about to get back on the road when Ace comes up behind us. Rob turns around and I sense an icy shield raising up as he curtly addresses our compatriot. Rob, what is it, Ace? Ace, can I ask you something? It's okay if you need me to go home after. The shield thaws. This isn't the Ace we've seen before, and Rob's perceptive enough to notice. He engages, albeit cautiously. Rob, what do you want to ask? Ace shuffles uncomfortably. Suddenly, he seemed much younger. Ace, does anything happen if you don't pick him up? Rob, oh god damn it, Ace, I told you, you can't tell me everything that happened. Or Rob, tell me what happened. Ace, I I was making my way down the road, making my way downtown, walking past the faces, missing open. Sorry, I was making my way down the road and I was angry at how you'd been. When I saw the hitchhiker, I thought I should, do what I said and just drive by. Ace starts to tremble, unable to meet Rob's eyes. Oh, fuck. Ace, a minute later, I look in the rearview mirror and he's sitting in the back of my car. He's just talking about the weather. I mean, I swear I didn't pick him up, but when I think about it all, these memories come back. I remember pulling over, letting him in. It's like I did, but I didn't even. Rob, did you talk to him? Ace, no, I promise. I didn't say a word. Rob stares at Ace in silence. Ace hangs his head like a penitent criminal facing judgment. Rob, feels awful, don't it? Ace finally looks up, confused at Rob's words, searching the man's expression for clues. Rob, I did the same as you the first time. Just drove right by. Wasn't gonna let some stranger in my car. Nearly jumped out of my skin when I saw him in the rear view. Rob grins at Ace, who manages to smile shakily back. You ain't got the right gear for this, Ace. I like to run a tight ship, and I gotta say it pissed me off. If you want to turn that portrait of yours around, no one will think any less of you. But if you want to keep on this road, how about you try to listen more and I'll try to be less of a hard ass? Rob holds his hand out for Ace to shake. It's an offer of peace, or at the very least an offer of terms. Ace accepts it, grimacing only slightly as he faces Rob's iron grip. About time we hit the road. 5 minutes later, we're rolling into a deep valley. Like the song, rolling into the. Sorry. Each member of the convoy appearing over the crest of the hill behind us. Everyone's present and accounted for, including Ace. Alice, I have to say I'm impressed. Rob, with what? With how you handled Ace. I'm gonna presume a guy who's been divorced 4 times isn't the best at conflict resolution. Rob, divorce is conflict resolution. That's a good point. He seems to be saying the hitchhiker made him pull over. Is that really what happens? Rob, yep, he always ends up in the back seat, and you always remember picking him up. It's just. That's not scientifically possible. Rob, get used to that. We spend the next 2 hours in silence, with me typing up my notes and Rob navigating the sparse few turns that show up every now and then. Ace's testimony troubles me. Perhaps because it stretches my favorite theory that the game is an elaborate hoax perpetrated by Rob. I was content that the hitchhiker could have been an incredibly deft performer, but even if the man was a RADA trained thespian, that doesn't make him capable of mind control. Ace could be insane or maybe an actor himself, but those ideas sound exactly like the idle rationalizations I decried in Rob earlier. I'm not sure what my theory is at the moment. I keep working, hoping to type my way to revelation. A few lone trees have started to show up in the distance, towering wild pines with trunks as thick as barrels. Without my noticing, the trees grow slowly more numerous, and in that creeping way that landscapes change, it isn't long until they span both sides of the road, encapsulating us in a deep, bright forest. Realizing I've recorded everything of substance, and with Rob concentrating on the drive, I have no choice but to lay back in my seat and watch the world roll by. Despite the pervasive strangeness of the left right game, there is beauty on the road. Under the light shade of the canopy, the smell of pine needles permeating the still air. I actually feel myself starting to relax. It only takes 3 words for that to change. The words don't come from Rob. He's as quiet as always. They aren't spoken by the rest of the convoy either. The words are writ large in calligraphic gold paint resting on a spotless white sign. Even from a distance, with the letters little more than a blur, I know what they're going to say. They're the words I've been dreading since I switched off the radio, the words I spent a long, troubling night hoping I'd never see. Welcome to Jubilation. It turns out there's room in my head for apprehension. This is ferryman to all cars. We're going to be heading through a small town. No rules here, just keep driving and we'll be fine. Rob puts his radio back into the receiver. I try to ignore the distinct knot in my stomach. What does the name Chuck Greenwald mean to you? About as much as John Doe. Why? He's the radio DJ here. In Jubilation? How do you know something like that? I was listening to his show last night. What do you know about this place? Seems like a good town. Folk don't pay attention to you. I just head straight through. You've never seen anything untoward? Rob, seems weird stuff. Some weird stuff now and again. I like to keep my eye on the road. The forest clears abruptly like a parting curtain to reveal a picture-perfect American town, archetypical almost to the point of self-parody. We've arrived in Jubilation. There's no denying this town is beautiful. We're welcomed by a row of vibrantly colored shops spanning the length of a long wide street. At the far end, an ornate gray-walled town hall proudly surveys its domain. The place is immaculate. I fail to find a solitary piece of litter on the sidewalk. A single smudge on the plate glass shop windows. Every inch of Jubilation is pristine, tranquil, and noticeably deserted. Where is everyone? I don't know. There's usually some around. Maybe there's a game on. Oh shit. Bro, this shit low-key getting freaky, bro. Vanilla and white chocolate. Ooh. Freaky, not in that way. Not in that way. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Not in that way. But why not? Shh, shh, shh. It's okay. It's okay, don't think about it. Just don't think about it. Or are you wiggling? Monster. Monster good. Why am I being shushed? Shh. Shh. It's okay. Just don't think about it. You'll be fine if you just don't think about it. We take the next right, then another left. The story's the same at every turn. A beautiful, leafy suburban town entirely bereft of its human population. The cafes are free of bustle, the surface of the public pool is still. We even see the school, a row of finger-painted faces smiling at us from the kindergarten windows as we pass by. The building itself is locked up, however, which is odd, seeing as it's noon on a Wednesday. Eventually, the Wrangler pulls onto the first residential street we've encountered. The sign on the corner reads Sycamore Road. The quaint shops are replaced by luxurious houses, all of them identical. White walls, wide porches, and fresh green lawns cut to a uniform length. The road stretches in a straight line for about a mile, creating an eerie corridor of copy pasted buildings. The strangest thing about the street, however, is vocalized by Rob. Well, I guess we know where everybody is now. In front of every house, a dining room table stands on the lawn, occupied without fail by a family of four: one husband, one wife, one son, and one daughter. They're sharing a meal together. A unit on the left clink their glasses of orange juice as they dine on pork chops and salad. The family on the right share a large hunk of meatloaf, broad smiles on their faces. Staring along the road, I estimate upwards of 800 people in neat subsets of four, all dining at the same time. None of them seem to notice us. Ferryman to all cars. Looks like we've come during a town celebration. Let's not bother these good people as we pass through. Rob lets the car roll slow down the street, his foot light on the gas pedal, trying to make as little noise as possible. The more families we pass, the clearer it becomes that every single one of them shares common characteristics. All of them are impeccably dressed. All of them consist of the same subset: husband, wife, son, daughter. Though their chosen meals are very slightly, they all share a raucous, yet almost oppressive happiness. Small town America, am I right, guys? Small town America, am I right, guys? Apollo's jokes don't make things any easier. I feel claustrophobic, trapped. Some screaming animal deep within me knows that it's surrounded on every side by something it doesn't understand. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but as we've continued down the road, everyone outside seems to be laughing a little harder and celebrating a little more. We've successfully crept more than halfway down the street, a sharp left coming at the end, representing the road out of jubilation. Another street comes up on the right, Acer Road. While we pass by it, I take the opportunity to glance down this new avenue, curious as to whether every street is like ours. I don't like what I see. The houses are similarly prestigious, the walls pristine white, but like a spot of difference puzzle. There's a subtle change. There's the subtle changes that make the picture. There are no tables and no families on the white green lawns. Almost every window I can see is broken. Cars lie abandoned on the road with one smashed into a splintered porch. Above every door, an X has been drawn in red paint, and outside of each house a small mound of clothes lie on the fresh cut lawn. A huge collective pile of men's, women's, and children's shoes tower at the end of the street, seemingly ownerless. Great going, everybody. Let's get back out there. We've reached the end of the street. I breathed a sigh of relief as we bid farewell to jubilation. I vindictively see it off in my wing mirror as we turn the corner. I immediately wish I hadn't when, in the split second before it disappears from view, I glimpse the 800 plus residents of Sycamore Row. They aren't smiling anymore, and they're all looking our way. Bro, that's so freaky. I welcome the forest as the trees rise up around us once more. The indifference of the nature as a welcome change to the saccharine fox civility of jubilation. Towns like that make me glad I'm a city boy. Bonnie, I thought it was nice. Wasn't it like Wintry Bay? Clyde, I don't think I've been. Bonnie, oh, maybe it was maybe it was Shelburne Falls. Clyde, oh, it was a little like Shelburne Falls. Rob, guys, we gotta keep this channel clear. We hurry along the next road and turn right. The further we get from the eerie town of jubilation, the higher our spirits seem. Alice, how long till we stop? Rob, about another 4 hours. Nothing big in between us and there, though. Shouldn't be a problem. Yes, good to hear. So, what does breakfast translate to in Japanese? Rob, you heard that? Yes, yeah, I've been curious all day. Does it have something to do with... I jolt forwards, a sharp pain in my neck as my head recoils back against my seat. Rob has stamped his foot onto the brake, bringing us to an immediate and shocking halt. Before I can ask why, my question is answered, as one of the colossal pine trees slam into the road ahead of us, blocking our route forward. God damn it, you were right? I'm fine. Massaging my neck, I look towards the base of the felled tree. The low end is covered in straight, sharp-cut marks. Someone has brought this tree down, timing its fall in an attempt to cripple the Wrangler. Yes, Rob, what's going on? Rob, ferryman to all cars. Full reverse. Watch out for the people behind you. The convoy pulls away, back down the road towards Jubilation. Rob waits for Apollo to start moving, then backs up himself. There's a second jolt as Rob abruptly stops the car, surveying our means of egress. Rob, ferryman to all cars. Road's done for, but there's a gap at the end. Be careful. Rob's right. Though the tree has fallen across the tarmac, only the thin treetop lies over the greasy bank before the road and the forest. There's a bit of a valley between the edge of the road and the grass, and Rob wastes no time in showing the others how to negotiate. Twisting the wheel, Rob dry steers towards the gap and proceeds cautiously towards the roadside. I watch the asphalt disappear beneath us, moments before the telltale bump. The Wrangler drops down the small bankside and turns around the fallen tree. I watch the needle-covered tip brush against my window as we roll past. With a second bump, Rob brings us back onto the road and pulls us over the far edge, turning the jeep to face towards the convoy. Oh my days. Father and fucking Christ, bro. I'm upset that it's working. Hi, Stabby, welcome. Thank you for the 3 streams straight, dear. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We are in part 3 of the left right game. And if you're interested, hold on. You know what? Let me send this over. Oh god. Because YouTube folks have access to this, but I don't think you guys do. So I will do this. I will post this here. Friday working through it. Oh man, I'm sorry. Here, this is the thing that I'm reading for anyone who is interested. This is part 1, so you can kind of go through from there if you wish to catch up, because it's linked all the way at the top of every single part. So shouldn't be difficult to find all of them. But it's a Friday on the bright side. Realistically. I almost dropped you guys, I'm so sorry. But it'll be a Friday. Yeah, and that means tomorrow is Saturday. Please don't drop us, we might get hurt from the small drop. Yeah, I know. Trying not to drop anybody, I promise. I'm getting myself a quick snacky before I continue. because I'm low-key getting freaked out. Interesting. I'll give it a quick glance while I have time. Oh, yee. But yeah, this is like whatchamacallit? We're having a little bit more of a ASMR sort of stream, because these streams often turn into ASMR reading streams at this point. I want more ice cream. You should get more ice cream. More ice cream would be great. ASMR, as they say. ASMR. I need my knife. Did you see the new protein ice? There was a protein ice cream. How long? I need that shit, bro. More than one a day. I have not, and I think I'm happier that way. But ice cream. Donut, go get the ice cream. Go treat yourself. Go reward yourself. You've earned it. Go get yourself the ice cream. Donut. You've earned it. You've earned a little sweet treat. Please. Let temptation take over, Donut. You were supposed to act as my impulse control. Since when? Since when, bro? Since when? Anyways, let me, one moment. If I can open this. I have managed to open it. This now? No impulse control. My mom got me a chocolate treat. I'm gonna run to the cafe at my work, but I'll bring you along. Want anything? Coffee. I want a coffee. Not a coffee, actually. Hold on. Let me think. I want free right to bite people whenever the fuck I want. Can we get that? Can I get that? Thanks. I don't know if they have that at the cafe. I'm sure they do. Cafes are cool like that. Okay, Apollo, make your way. On it, Rob. As Apollo swerves towards the gap, I hear something. The sound of a running engine. At first, it's so quiet that it's almost impossible to isolate from the convoy's own rumblings. It's since grown louder, however, and it's growing steadily more noticeable. Yes, Rob, someone's coming. Apollo, get yourself over here right now. All cars are on double time. Get moving. Apollo accelerates towards the gap. His Range Rover shudders, banking on the grassy decline, but it's hardly any effort to pull himself around the tree and back onto the road. The noise in the distance grows louder. I can picture the vehicle careering towards the corner, just one turn away from having its windshield locked on the convoy. Though I have no idea what it might be, I don't want to share road space with anything coming out of Jubilation. The rest of the convoy can hear the noise now. Bonnie and Clyde roll over the gap and quickly but tentatively push themselves down onto the side. It's clearly harder than Rob and Apollo make it look. After a few moments, they travel across the bank, bringing themselves out on the other side. The vehicle turns the corner. A white truck skids into view, the tires shrieking against the road. A metal beam sticks up behind the driver's compartment, and a hook swings with the momentum of the hard right turn. It's a tow truck, though something tells me it's not here to lend us assistance. All cars, once you're on the other side, drive. Wait around the left turn. I'll radio if they get by me. What about you guys? I'll come once everyone's across. Now I have the time for questions. Even Lilith, get over here get over here now. We still have time to get everyone across, but every passing second feels like a precious fleeting loss. Eve and Lilith are impatient for their turn, dropping onto the roadside and coming back up in the matter of seconds. The truck is gaining with incredible speed, and I just about make out the words Jubilation Recovery scrawled across the hood. The letters are rapidly becoming easier to read. Blue Jay takes her time dismounting the road. In fact, she's almost casual in how she maneuvers, whittling away at the remaining seconds we have. A soul of anger wells up inside me as her wheel hits the road again. If she's calm about the situation, then good for her, but I can see Ace strumming his fingers frenetically against the steering wheel, now stranded alone on the other side. I watch Blue Jay follow the rest of the convoy to the next turn, displaying none of the urgency everyone else has shown. Take it easy, Ace. You ain't built for this. Ace takes the corner, heeding Rob's plea for caution, but unwisely taking it almost head on. His front wheel thuds over the edge of the bank, and the chassis hits the tarmac. The drop is just a little too deep for the Porsche's clearance. Rob's warning ring in my ears as Ace accelerates on three wheels, his car engaging in a slow turn with little forward motion. Rob, what did I do? Rob? The pickup truck remains at speed and aligns itself with Ace's Porsche, its thunderous velocity defying all logic, all concern for Ace's or their own safety. Get out of the car, Ace. Get out of the goddamn car. Ace struggles with his seatbelt, stress overpowering his motor functions. He unclasps and throws the belt to the side. He grabs the door and pushes it, swings open slightly, then immediately slams against the bark of the pine tree for a moment that lasts all too long. He shares with me a look of pleading terror. The door slams shut, crumpling as the low truck collides with the passenger side. As the tow truck collides with the passenger side of Ace's car. Ace is launched against the door, his head smashing against the window. The ungodly racket of shrieking metal suddenly gives way to silence. Shit. Rob climbs into the back of the car. Rob, what can I do? Stay here. I hear Rob rummaging amongst the luggage as the tow truck reverses out of Ace's Porsche. The hood of the tow truck is completely and impossibly unharmed by the impact, as are its two occupants. They park the truck side onto us. The hook hanging a few meters away from the back of the Porsche. The words Jubilation Recovery appear again, now accompanied by the slogan, Here to Help. Two men in white shirts and blue overalls, climb out and wander over to the ruined Porsche. They barely seem to register the situation at all, casually chatting together as they throw open Ace's passenger side door. The stunned Ace looks like he's battling a concussion, only barely cognizant as he's pulled out of the car. He quickly grows more aware as the mechanics grab him by each arm, struggling against him as his captors talk amongst themselves. Let him go. And I turn around, Rob is stepping out of the Wrangler, apparently hidden within those neat stacks of luggage. Apparently hidden within those neat stacks of luggage was a loaded hunting rifle. Rob races the stock to his shoulder and repeats himself. Let him go. The mechanics pay no attention to Rob. They continue to frog march Ace over to the truck, one of them making a quiet joke to the other as they go. They laugh. An awful bang erupts beside me, and a deep red hole bursts from one of the mechanic's torso, blood slowly seeping out of the wound. Inexplicably, the mechanic does nothing more than look down at his wound, up at Rob, then back to the matter at hand. He hardly breaks his stride as he continues towards the truck, bleeding freely onto the floor. I hear Rob set about reloading the rifle. The mechanics arrive at the back of the truck with Ace. There are two short loops of thin chain hanging from the lowest of the hook's chain links. The mechanics feed Ace's arms through one of the loops each until he's hanging by the armpits in front of the hook itself. Rob fires another shot that goes nowhere. Fuck. The mechanics grab a handful of Ace's hair, chatting as they do so, and lift Ace's head up until his lower jaw is just above the hook. In that moment, despite everything, despite all of my journalistic ideals, my pursuit of truth, my duty as an observer, I close my eyes. The visual disappears into darkness, but the sound doesn't. The impact and the sorrowful, obstructed groan that follows penetrates my bones, reverberating through my very being. Another gunshot and the sharp twang of a metallic ricochet. Ace's cries continue as the engine starts up and carries him off back to jubilation. I hear another gunshot that sounds like it hits nothing but air. As the engine and Ace's whimpers grow quieter, a few moments pass before one final, measured gunshot echoes around the car. Bro. Got peanuts, coffee, and ooh, nice. Bro. I hope everyone can hear me as I'm reading this. Because. Absolutely the hell not, bro. I was starting to like Ace. I was starting to like Ace. I was like, okay, you know what? He is a bitch, but he's learning. He's learning. He's doing his best. And then they go and do this. Fuck this man. I can't do this. Dude. We can meow. I'm sure you can meow, but like, can you hear me? Oh, I know what you mean. Yes, I'm rage baiting you. We can hear you too. Meow. God damn it. God fucking damn it. The Wrangler's chassis clangs as Rob kicks the side with all his considerable might. I open my eyes to see a fallen pine tree, a ruined Porsche, and an otherwise empty road. When Rob climbs in the car, it's clear he's trying to regulate his breathing. An internalized rage lighting him up, barely under his control. We have to go. Rob turns around, points the Wrangler back down the road. The quiet of the car echoes in my ears, along with other noises I can't hope to forget. I watch the fallen pine grow smaller in the rearview mirror, overwhelmed by a feeling that I'm leaving more behind on this road than I can currently imagine. Bereft of conversation, of logic, of any semblance of comfort, Rob and I do the only thing we can. We take the next left. Blue Jay, you goddamn bitch, right? Dude, Dude. Bro. I am feeling things and I'm not happy about it. Please stay hydrated. Thank you, dude. I have taken a sip. I am. Why must this happen? What are you feeling? Bitch, are you not paying attention to the story? Do you not see what's happening? Oh. I want you to tell me what you're feeling. Do you not see what's happening in the story? Vibe check, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Like fear, despair, sad, upset. I don't fucking know. I just, I, what? No, no, dude, no. Mm-mm. Fuck no. Fuck no. Okay. So, the story is devastating me, Loki. I'm scared. Not even scared in like the oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, what's happening? Scared in like the no. No. Like, I'm scared for my emotions, not for my anxiety, if that makes sense. Like, they took away Ace right when I was like starting to warm up to the guy. Anyways, how many parts in are we? I am so tempted to keep reading, but also I am so tired. Like, I low-key just want to like sit and chat with you guys, but also I want to know what happened. Fuck. Hi, Peony, welcome. Just want to pop by and say thank you so much. Thank you so much for dropping by. Multi-stream thing, I mean, I have to. I'm not reading 10 parts today, bro. But like, I am so tempted to know what happens next, cause like, Ace, my boy, free my man, bro. I Ace. I was starting to like him. Like, he was starting to like be on decent terms with Rob, and they were starting to get along, and he was starting to like be not a bitch. Blue Jays being a bitch though. Like, Ace would have Loki. Blue Jay did not deserve to survive that. Ace did. Blue Jay did not deserve to survive that. They should have taken Blue Jay. That bitch ain't doing nothing. She is contributing in no way so far. It should have been Blue Jay. It shouldn't have been Ace. I'm not gonna be here for 10 hours again. Hi, Viper, thank you for the stretch. Oh, also, confession, I haven't been paying attention to them for next stream. He hates me, man. Fuck you. I knew you weren't paying attention just by how you were reacting. Because you weren't reacting at all. It's fine. Not like I care or anything. Not like I'm upset or whatever. Like, right? Like, it's fine. Don't listen to me, man. I go through all this stuff for you people, and y'all don't even listen. Fuck, man. I am devastated over. I mean, I can do a 10-hour stream if you really want me to. It's only been 3 hours. I'm fine with doing a 10-hour stream if you. I'll go to sleep before that stream ends. It would be quite late for you if I end up doing a 10-hour stream. Holy god, that was an insane day, bro. How did I manage a 10-hour? You know what? Hold on. How did I manage a 10-hour stream? Like, we just kept reading and kept reading. And how long? Like, when did it start? When did it end? What time was it for me? I don't fucking remember anything. It was a wild day. It started like 2, 3 p.m. for me. It's like, holy shit, bro. Like literally all fucking day you're sitting there watching me bitch about a story. I'm sorry, Pookie. I have been listening, just not hearing. Make a fantastic romantic partner. Personally, if I was talking to someone and like they were listening but not hearing, because I will reference that conversation later. And if they did not remember, if I was like, oh my god, you remember I told you this? And if they don't remember, even though I repeatedly said that thing multiple times in a conversation, I'm gonna be really fucking upset. I'm sorry. There's only 15 hours in a day. You're not fooling me. You need me to do the math for you. I have fingers. I can count. I have fingers. I can count. Okay, that's what the fuck you think it is. I can count, and that's the main point. Is I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I can count till 56 on my fingers, and I'm not telling you how. I can count till 56 on my fingers. I'm not telling you how. Well, yeah, well, I can count to 56 without much. So I'm wrapping up. Thank you everyone for dropping by, and you know, I hope you enjoyed that, whatever that was. It emotionally destroyed me a little bit, but you know, it's fine. I am very invested, but you know, it's fine. Then gonna 20. Let me just take off my shoes. No, like on my fingers. 56, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 29, 30, 34, 35, this, 38, 40, 50, yeah, 56. I can count till 56 on my fingers. I'm not telling you how. Now I'm becoming painfully curious. Fuck you. I'm flipping you off. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. Fuck you. I'm not telling you because you are mean to me. Mogging right now, dude. You can't see it, but I'm doing it. You're mogging me. I'm sure if you subscribe to the Basement Plus tier, she can tell you. Yeah. I mean, if you subscribe to the Basement Plus tier. I physically can't give this cat more money. I don't know. You don't have to. But I'm also not telling you. I'm not telling you. It's a secret. No. Saying please won't do. It doesn't work like that. me caving to someone saying please is purely a choice. It is never just because they said please and I am just weak of heart, so I let go. So I let them have what they want. No, it's always purely a choice. I choose to be. I choose to give in. It don't work like that, buddy. Mm-mm. 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 People underestimate how stubborn. Count each digit of the finger back in front. Each digit of the finger. Anyways. Oh yeah, take it. Winter, you weren't supposed to say that. I was trying to play dumb. You weren't bye. Bye. Fall off. Shut up. You weren't supposed to expose that. That was one thing that I could hold on to. You. No one DM'd me about it. No. You know what? I'm like, it was a puzzle. No, you could have solved it on your own. No one DM me. I do not wish, and if someone's gonna DM me about it, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm just letting you know now. Nobody DM me about this. Nobody will ever contact me about this ever. I do not care. I am upset. I do not want to know. I'm looking for people to send you guys to. There's a few people. Owie. Um. You know what, fine, I'll send you guys here. Let me check YouTube, actually. That is not what I meant to click. My brain is not working. Hold on. Oh, no. There was a suggestion of someone I could read, and I was like, first reaction was, ew, no. Mm. I can't rate anybody else. That's a little annoying. Damn. Okay then. YouTube can go to this red panda VTuber playing a banned horror game. And Twitch can go to this person. Nice. / raid. Anyways, thank you everyone for dropping by. We will continue this hopefully next week. We will continue with the what the fuck? We'll hopefully continue with part 4 and then ongoing, right? Feel free to copy the raid message if you want to join the raid, which I would suggest that you do because it does help other streamers, as well as if you want to join the Discord. We've got the Discord server. That's where all our main and most frequent updates go. There's also Discord events, there's voice calls, I also drop by voice calls, I drop by chat sometimes, so feel free to drop by there if you'd like. I've also got a YouTube if you'd like that, if you'd like to watch more content with my voice in it, because I've got one of those. So if you want to look for other shit that I do, like for example my YouTube, my Patreon, I should start the raid. My YouTube, my Patreon, my Twitter, where I should post a lot. I've got a Blue Sky, I've got an Instagram, I've got a Threads, I've got a Tumblr. I've got everything mostly. I've got a Throne and Ko-fi if you ever want to throw money at my face. I don't fucking know. And I've also got commissions if you're ever interested in that. So feel free to do all of that. And be sure to join the raid if you'd like. I would suggest that you do because the numbers help. You can leave afterwards, but it would be nice if you could join the raid because that does help numbers for other other streamers. I'm good being here for a bit. Thanks for sharing. I wish you the best with everything offline. Thank you. Anyways, I will get going now. You guys have a good day, night. Take care of yourselves. And I think our next stream is tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, our next stream should be tomorrow. Yeah, it is tomorrow. And we are just like yapping and chilling out. So if you are interested in that, you should drop by tomorrow. Anyways, bye bye.